Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary.
And I'm Jason.
Welcome back, Jason, to Gaming Friday. I remember you joined me for a look at Ninja Gaiden.
That is right.
I think that was last year.
That is right, and one tough game.
And now I've brought you back because I know you like tough games and challenging games. I know you have an eye for a certain art style.
Yeah.
So, Big Ed, I introduced to you Cuphead.
All right. Cuphead. I have seen a little bit of this. I
remember we both
impressed.
talked about E3. I think it was back in 2014 that we both saw the video at E3 for this game, and both of us were just massively excited. So
definitely.
Yeah.
I was definitely excited. It was one of the first things I did pick up, and it was one of the things that stuck with me was just the visuals of this game were just amazing. Like looking right now.
Absolutely. It was so eye-catching because at that time we were just seeing sequels of everything, stuff that looked uninspired or unoriginal, and this was just like a breath of fresh air. It was just like, I don't care what type of game it is, I want to see more of this art style.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. It was something exactly brand new, something fresh and visually amazing, and it drew me in instantly.
Instantly, yeah. And so this came out on the 29th of September 2017, so quite a few years after the original release video that we saw for it. Developed by Studio MDHR using the Unity engine, and eventually released on the Xbox One and on PC. And it's on PC that we're playing it now. And this is, of course, a run and gun indie game. And you fight a series of difficult bosses in order to essentially repay a debt to the devil that Cuphead made during the intro of the game. You know, they were umming and ahhing about the decision as to whether it would be a sort of damsel in distress sort of scenario.
Like Mario or something.
Kind of like Mario, but they decided, you know what, let's just make Cuphead, you know, the instrument of his own downfall. And so now he has to spend this entire game paying back that debt.
The only downfall of this game is my own.
So
it's my own incapable.
Right now, you've Jeff and myself have been played this game on and off. Jeff's played it a lot more than I have because I felt my blood temperature boiling within an instant. And Jeff has been hammering me to play this game co-op, and I refused to play co-op with him. I said I will sit and play the game, pass the controller back and forth every 10, 15 lives, or, you know, when you finally got feelings back in your thumbs again.
I can tell you right now, I'm getting so frustrated, and I only died like 3 or 4 times. But it's just like,
well, you have jumped onto a much more difficult level straight away. Yeah. I would have suggested that you either started a new game, Jay, or gone to an earlier stage instead of jumping straight into this one. But you know, you're going to get the feel of the game straight away.
That's what I was thinking. I was just thinking to, you know, jump right in. The levels are going to be equally as hard. I have played a little bit of the first level, and I got really frustrated at that. So I was like, no matter what level I do play, it's all going to frustrate the shit out of me. Like, and I do apologise first and foremost if you hear me swear quite a hefty bit.
And this is why I've also kind of given you the controller for this video, so that the audience doesn't just hear me screaming and swearing for 30 minutes straight, because it's kind of what it actually is like when I'm playing.
God.
Because I also have to say, this is one of those games that when you're playing, you can only so much appreciate the art style.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't really be concentrating and looking at all of the details and the animations, the expressions, because you're looking at the pattern where the enemy's coming from.
And the pattern
you're trying to figure out where to be. But it's not random. It's the same all the time. Or, well, the enemies will respawn if you linger in the same areas. So, you know. But for the first playthrough, if you start carving your way through the level, it's the same, and it becomes like a rhythm that once you've mastered the timings and you haven't got somebody talking in your ear like I have talking to you while you play this.
It's totally fine. Like, I've like almost cancelled you out in that little part.
You're not listening to me.
No, that's why I'm going a little bit quiet. It's just like,
you can't. It's a game where you have to be in the zone. It's a game that you kind of have to mellow out to, because as soon as you start getting frustrated, then that's it. Well, even though that frustration is good, because you feel egged on. I would say it's always good to have somebody here to play it with you, to bounce back off of, to pass the controller to, and just go, right, you do this bit, and you watch somebody else do it just for a little bit, and you see the patterns, you see the rhythm, you know where to be, where to shoot.
You have the controller while I have anger management classes. It's more
But I mean, is it good to play these games if you've got anger issues? For me, this was one of those games I knew I would get irate and throw the controller. I would get to the very end of a boss and die, and it would just taunt me, and I'd lose my temper with it.
The only thing this game does is, instead of like it thinking, oh, this game is really hard, it mocks my own capabilities as a player. It's thinking, it's like, am I not good enough for this game? It makes me doubt myself. If like right there, I know I should jump on that guy, but I just can't get that timing. Like, and
so you're just getting hit right in the face.
I'm getting hit right in the face by like loads of enemies that are bouncing, and like, see, some don't even bounce. Wait, what the crap is that? That's brand new.
Yeah, different bouncing. Well, it's because you're still learning the level.
Yeah.
Now, there are essentially sort of 3 modes to this game. You know, you've got the world map, which you saw briefly at the beginning, where there are sort of branching missions. The game is broken down into 30 or 40 sort of missions, I believe.
All right.
And some of them are run and gun, like what you're doing now, and the others are entire boss battles that are as long as the stage.
Oh my god.
Now, obviously the boss battle keeps going until you defeat it, but the boss has different stages and it evolves and transforms as the fight is going on.
I understand.
So, it's, this game, believe it or not, challenged the Guinness World Record for, which I think at the time of this game's release was, in a running gun game, 25 bosses. This one tried to break it with having 30 bosses.
Oh my god.
So
a new level of hell for each run, right?
Exactly, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, with obviously varying degrees of difficulty.
Varying degrees of hell, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Now a lot of other people that I've seen play this game, it's not very long before they go, it's Dark Souls hard, and I'm like, no.
It's not Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is doable.
Yeah.
This fucking game.
Dark Souls, yeah, it's definitely doable, and Dark Souls is
I've
a different
done the Dark
type.
Souls games.
It's a different type of hard as well. Like
Yes,
Ninja
it is.
Gaiden 2 is like really hard. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I can play that.
But
on...
at least that game has, well, at least some of those games have an easy difficulty setting.
Yeah.
But they also have that difficulty setting, which is for, you know, game genies.
Yeah.
You know, only games masters could ever really finish a Ninja Gaiden game on its max difficulty.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a little.
I
bit
can
of
see
ra-
you
bit of rage.
can't see Jason right now, but he's kicking the air in frustration silently.
This game. I mean, I want this game. I really want this game, and I can see why. I can understand why Jeff would want to play it 2-player, because I've seen this being played in 2-player, and when you die, there is a chance for the
the other player to actually
pick
revive
up,
you,
which
yes.
is like an extra life. Which
It is an extra life, which means you can continue onward. But the thing is, having 2 of you on screen, I've seen other people talk about it. I refuse to play the game because it's so frenetic just learning the rhythm on your own that then replaying the mission with somebody else also on screen, also shooting at stuff, I just can't keep focused on which Cuphead I am and where the end, and be sure which ones Jeff is going to shoot or not.
You'd be Mughead. You'd be Blue, and you'd be the one not dead.
Probably.
Like that.
But it's,
God damn it!
This is a game to solo. Maybe I'm being too harsh. but
Solo, yes.
for the co-op
but like,
factor.
you would have to play it so much that you begin to see every single pattern. Like, and
Yes.
I'm sure like the people that have done this.
Well, there are people that
really
are
well.
that are acing this game.
I
You
know,
know,
without being
they
hit
flawless.
once.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously you haven't seen an ending screen yet, Big Ed. Not rubbing you, not knocking you.
No.
But the game does reward you on your time it took to complete, how many hits you took, and how many of those purple ball type things that you can collect.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely.
And your
failing.
power-ups. Obviously, for a flawless run, you need to do everything, all of it.
Oh, right, cool. Like not do that and
Not do that or any of that.
Or that, or that. Yeah.
Do you want to
okay.
change the stage again? Yeah. Try
yeah.
somewhere else.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I get it why you make it hard, make it difficult so you get more game hours out of it, out of a maybe, I don't know, like a relatively short game.
Yeah.
But, like, does it necessarily have to be that hard?
Oh, look, there's a difficulty selection, simple and regular.
And alright, I'm doing regular because I don't want to see.
Okay, no. This is a boss fight that I have not been able to defeat yet myself on regular difficulty. like I said, the entire fight is a boss fight. You have to, looking at the boss, because they have different move patterns, you have to be able to gauge what attacks they're going to do by their animations.
Alright.
Now, there's also something else that you need to bear in mind as well, Jason, which you're not going to be able to do right now because I'm talking over it all, is listen out for the music and the sound effects, because the sound also gives hints as to what attacks are coming up.
Okay.
So having that taken away from you right now is definitely going to affect your gameplay because you're unfamiliar with the boss as it is.
Yeah.
But you can also just judge by it visually what it's going to do next, whether it's going to go for high attack, low attack, or the gun attack in this form. And that is case in point for every boss battle in the game.
Nice.
You have the more you play that boss, the more you see the patterns for all the different stages. That means you stop taking hits throughout the early stages so that you can eventually do the whole fight. This is the thing that always gets me is those boomerangs that he's throwing.
Yeah.
Those petals just always get me every time. And later on he starts firing even more of them at you than one. And those acorns as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I've sussed out avoiding the acorns.
Alright,
But,
cool.
yeah.
I avoided them before and I was like, how did I do that?
Yeah, how did I do that? And that's where you just need to
So
it's
that's
basically staying still when he launches them and then moving afterwards. But obviously, it's easy to see by looking at this game what it's inspired by. Cartoons from the 1930s era.
Definitely.
I easily see early Disney sort of style in the animations.
This reminds me of some of the old Cab Calloway cartoons and Bill Betty Boop cartoons.
Definitely. Old Mickey Mouse cartoons for me. And, I used to have a lot of VHS tapes. And there would always be like the odd cartoon here and there, like before the film or after the film, or you just had random animation VHS tapes, and just they were like from a bygone era. And it's sort of an art style that sort of disappeared quite a bit.
It's really fascinating though, isn't it?
Well, it's because they've kind of subverted it almost and twisted it so that it goes from being this pleasant looking cartoon that you remember, and it has this sinister dark quality to it all as well.
It does,
which is just great. Absolutely great.
I'm sorry, I'm getting out of that bus.
Yeah, you don't like that one.
No.
Well, it's good to say that this game actually sold over 1 million copies in the first 2 weeks of its release. It's done really well, considering that this game they originally came up with the idea for this game back in 2000. The year 2000, so 17 years ago, they actually came up with the idea, and they worked on it roughly for 4 or 5 years before they just abandoned the project. They were like, we just can't do it. And then when Super Meat Boy released in 2010, the two brothers thought, you know what, indie games are making a comeback, we've still got this great idea, let's get back to it. And then from 2010 to 2017 is mainly the main 7 years that this game took to make. And as we were saying, back from E3 2014, why is it taking so long? Like, we've seen the animations, we want more, why is it taking so long?
Yeah, I know, I understand, I completely agree.
That's because this game, all of the animations, all of the images are all hand-drawn and painted. I know they used Photoshop, but they also used watercolors to paint everything.
That's amazing.
And it is just amazing. It is just absolutely beautiful and a real labor of love. Obviously, it started with two brothers, but they had to expand in order to actually get the game finished in time. And I think it was Microsoft who obviously ended up using it as a showcase for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And as I remember you saying to me earlier today that you playing the Xbox One a lot more, have noticed how many more indie games are appearing on the Xbox One right now.
Exactly, and Microsoft are really pushing it and pushing indie games, and it's great to see that indie games are using Microsoft as a giant platform to showcase like the inspirations in games as well, because this is one of them. Thank you for sharing it with us. But maybe
I'm laughing because I'm just going to say now, we're not endorsed by Xbox One. We're playing this on PC anyway.
Yeah.
But you just sounded like a complete Xbox salesperson.
I know.
It's so crazy.
I know. But yeah.
I'm sorry.
I just I'm hypnotized by these graphics, and it's something
absolutely.
that I'm inspired inspired by.
it is mesmerizing.
And I'm glad that other people are inspired by it, and I've managed to put it into like a game because it's something that I've quite looked forward to myself.
Yeah.
Right, screw this boss again.
I've got a bit of random trivia for you as well. It's not random, it's totally related.
Go on.
But the character that is Cuphead, when they had over 150 different designs for the main character.
Right.
Obviously, they couldn't decide what it was actually going to be. And so, but Cuphead, the model as we know him now, descended from a 1936 Japanese propaganda cartoon.
I get that.
You get that?
I get that.
Basically, the character in the cartoon morphed into a tank, but they just obviously were sold on the idea of
What the fuck? What the fuck? Sorry, guys.
Did you just die?
I just didn't know what I was doing. Like, look.
I wasn't. To be honest, I wasn't actually watching. I'm not familiar with this room either.
All right.
But I'm gonna guess what you're not shooting. And
I died.
get lost. You hear me? This tomb is only for the eerie.
Alright. Can I not?
Now I know this game's difficult, but
Alright. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this room.
yeah, I think you should leave.
Yeah.
Leave this area.
Yeah, there's not a lot I can do here. There's not a lot I can really do anyway. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that you're just coming here watching me
Just figuring out Cuphead for the first time.
Just figuring out Cuphead for the first time, exactly. Sorry, guys.
Hey, see, the flags are the ones that have been completed. There's not many.
That's good. I totally dig that. Totally.
I'm just trying to figure out where you've gone. Oh, the airplane.
Oh, I can shrink. Oh.
Yeah, there's a reason why you'll need to shrink.
There's always a reason.
So they did actually plan in the early stages of this game to have a difficulty level, but they kept playing around with sort of hitboxes. They kept playing around with the level design and the duration of the invincibility that you have after you take a hit to decide that it was fine as is.
It is fine how it is.
Yeah.
Even though it is insanely difficult.
But it's one to master.
It is one.
Oh, you've not come back here, have you?
I have come back here for round 2, bitches. Whoa, it's definitely not round 2. It's more like round 100.
So now that you've played the game for about 20 minutes, Big, how are you finding the actual gameplay? Is it rewarding?
The gameplay is rewarding. I think the gameplay is rewarding is for me on a different level. It's rewarding to me because I'm more of an artistic person. I just find it like really gorgeous, even to look at. It is very frustrating, and I'm sure if I even got far in this game, I would be very, very happy. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. It's hard. Like, it's relentlessly hard for some particular strange reason. I don't know why they made it ridiculously hard, but people seem to dig it, so I dig it. I just maybe wish it was a little bit less.
But how are you finding the controls? Is it responsive? Are you firing where you want to, jumping how you want to? How are you finding the movement?
Everything's exactly how I want it. Like, I can't really complain. The jumping's active. The only thing I would say is like a double jump wouldn't go amiss, but you can. Like,
but you have a dash instead,
which is like really cool because he actually teleports, which is actually kind of...
Yeah. Now, there's something that you're probably not too aware of, Big, is that there are power-ups and charms and abilities and upgrades.
All right.
And there's like 4 slots, and you can equip different ones in each one. There is a shop vendor, Pork Rind, who basically sells the different upgrades to you. But you should be careful, obviously, which ones you pick up with your currency.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, Big, how are you finding the music in the game?
I love the music. Like I said, I used to listen.
It's very jazzy.
It is. I used to listen to Cab Cat. I still do listen to Cab Calloway and things like that. So, like, again, that's something that I just absolutely love. It's definitely in tune with the theme and everything. Like,
it is in tune. I mean, like I said, the jazz theme to it. The music is just as relentless as the visuals. As an experiment, someone basically played the game and turned the music off.
Yeah.
And all you can hear is Cuphead clicking his fingers as he's firing his projectiles.
Nice.
And the game just died on the spot. I was like, even though it has this beautiful art style, without the music, it made me realize that the music is like 80-90% even almost of the whole experience.
Yeah,
when you take it away, you realize how much
this game
it
has
makes
to be
up
a whole.
this game.
Definitely.
Everything all
adds,
works together as a whole.
Take one away, you take the essence of another part of the game out.
Yeah. So, with regards to the difficulty,
Yeah.
I think the game is pitched almost just right. It feels at times, just like the game was meant to frustrate and annoy and antagonize and make you want to break stuff.
Wants me to kill stuff.
But it is a rewarding experience when you do make progress, when you do beat a boss.
So you can't go back down there.
But you take the knocks,
Take the knocks.
So that's why I say with the difficulty, it is horrible. It's grueling. It's best shared
savage
with a group that, like I said,
that's what I mean. I think it'd be better shared with. Like I get it. What Jeff means, it would be with someone else. It'd be banging.
Yeah.
Like right now, just as someone just to pick me up when.
Okay.
I got that thing down now.
I might consider trying the co-op with you after we finish.
Yeah. Just to save me, like I know you want to find someone to complete this game and be like, yeah, like Bigger did this, or Jeff did this.
Well, I
but,
know
like,
sometimes that you can pick up some games, Jay, and just play them like you'd already been playing them.
Yeah. Like,
and so I was just curious to see how you would do it this one.
I mean, give me time. Like right now, like it does my head in that I can't go down. So like eventually I would learn to like right now. I've died enough times. It's just I give myself a false sense of security by going back to where I was. I can't find like my point A, my Alamo. It's like go to, but in this game my Alamo is like death. So it really punishes you just to be like, just keep going, go, keep like, and it's having to find that keep going and not be scared, but you see someone coming your way like, oh my god, and you haven't killed it.
It's the kind of panic you kind of don't know immediately how to react. You need to build that muscle memory, the thumb memory,
exactly,
so that you kind of glide through, and then all of a sudden you feel like the game's easy because you've learned the rhythm, and you don't just run into every oncoming enemy. Also learning that jump parry is essential. It's absolutely essential, which will also power up some of your sort of super moves as well, which you can absolutely decimate bosses with. It's kind of learning the timing of when to use those as well, other than to just clear every enemy that's currently on the screen.
That parry is a definite must, isn't it?
So I'm going to ask you to comment on the level design.
Like everything, like this is like we were saying before with the music. Everything coincides with everything, like the music, like the game, and like just
the thematics of every level.
Everything, like it all adds to the general effect, and the level design is actually just right for this particular game. Anything like more. Like like if you see right now, like in the front of the screen, like the graphics, the foreground, like it's just right for the game. It's not too imposing. It's just right, and like the color scheme, like the washed out watercolors in the back, like it's definitely in tone with the actual game itself, and with the crackles again with the screen, and it all works.
Feels
together.
authentic to the time. Yeah,
it feels like you're playing a cartoon, like in those old school cartoons that you used to watch when you were a kid.
Sure.
It definitely feels like that.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing.
So the other talking point, really, other than the art design, is which we've already covered, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's painstakingly done.
It's painstakingly heartbreaking.
But the only the thing that the game doesn't really have, as we've said, is a story. There's not really a story to it.
There's a little bit of a story.
There's the storybook cut sequences at the beginning.
But how much of a story do you want from a platform game?
Well, exactly. I mean I mean it's the trappings of the game type. It's the arcade fun of playing. You're not waiting around for ages, watching cut sequences and dialogue and having these morality tales and everything else. It's a cut and dry run and gun boss shooter.
Exactly.
and that is where the fun is to be had. And so that brings me to one of the last topics is, how much fun are you having?
I'm having lots of fun, exactly. Like, and one thing I wanted to say, it's not a AAA game, and you're not going to get AAA game like fun out of it, and I am enjoying it. Like, it's a very nice pick-me-up game, like, and put me down whenever you get really angry.
Yeah.
And it's really good. I personally feel it would be better with another person. I can't say that enough, only because I'm like dying here. And I want someone else to share my pain, It's always like if you're drowning, you'll find someone else to drown.
Is it because that you'll have somebody else to blame?
Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, I'm having loads of fun. I just need to give it 110%, and at the moment I'm giving it.
You're only better giving it about 10%.
I mean,
yeah.
I need to give it. I need to be.
You need to get in the zone.
I need to swear at it for a few hours when I don't get what I want.
Yeah.
Or these things don't die as quick as I want.
So, any closing thoughts, Big? Would you recommend the game?
I would definitely recommend the game. It's definitely worth the price tag on it as well. It's on Xbox Live as well. I think it's like £17.
I think so. It's a budget game of between £15 and £20. That's about as much as I would expect this game to be at release.
Exactly, and it's only going to go down from there. So I guess
probably New Year's sales or whatnot.
And Christmas around the corner as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's all gonna. Will be cushy. It's going to be nice for the creators of Cuphead this Christmas, I think.
Me myself, I kind of struggle to recommend the game at full price, despite it being a fantastic looking game. It's a game that I kind of lose the will to play, and a game that makes me lose the will to keep playing is a game that I don't know if I can recommend. It's like, you have to be the judge. You just have to know before you buy this game that it's difficult. That's all you need to know. Because if you love the art style, which I do, and the music that fits, which I do, but that difficulty is
annoying.
If it's going to soul crush you, just watch somebody else play it.
I think it's more if you were alone and doing this, I think you would get really more frustrated, but the fact that someone else is here like calming you down, like watching you get frustrated, is actually quite funny.
Yeah,
I think that kind of like calms you down. I mean, like I got quite far there.
You just can't take it seriously.
I can't take myself seriously, and I think that's one thing you need to take away from this game. Like, it's not a serious game.
It is a hell of a repetitive though.
You should just don't take it so seriously, and you will have a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah.
But you can't help but take it seriously.
Yeah. That's the thing, but it's when you get serious, that's when you get frustrated. And that's when you make mistakes.
I'm not doing too bad. This one's good. Like, it's a thing. It's a thing with Ninja Gaiden and things like that. Like, you just practice. Like, some people can pick up this game and do like great things.
Do really well. Yeah.
But like, I pick up this game and do stuff like this, as you can imagine.
Yeah, you're going the wrong way.
I'm going the wrong way, and more things keep spawning and hurting me.
Well, with that, I'm going to say thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching me die.
For watching, yeah. I'm wondering whether to just actually, I went quiet there because I was just like, maybe if I just shut up for a minute and just see what happens.
All right.
And you
All right.
As soon as I start talking, you die. So I'm just going to say thanks for watching, everyone. I'm just going to take a few minutes out.
Right, we're going to take this 1 second.
And just let you play without me.
Right.
Without me talking at you.
Apologise for the language. So here we go. One thing this game needs is health packs or something halfway through the game. I think it punishes you for standing around.
It does. You've got its momentum, its forward drive. As soon as you stop,
but those things need to die. But maybe they don't need to die because I don't care about those things dying.
No. It's the rhythm. You've got to get into the rhythm.
Oh, you piece of shit! You piece of cocksucking motherfucking. Sorry. So sorry. I need to not get hit once up here. That's like the general idea.
Yeah.
Oh, you piece of crap. Oh, you piece of crap!
Right, that's it. I'm ending it.
No. Oh, fine. Save my goddamn nerves.
Thanks for watching.